Hey guys, welcome back to Pretentious Pundits, a podcast where we discuss all things football and pretend to know what we're talking about. We're back with another preview episode. Preview episode, and we're going to be previewing the game week 10 fixtures for you.
Yeah, the first game, I think it was Crystal Palace was Newcastle, and that ended in a very. We didn't see this coming, obviously, with Newcastle winning 2-0 at the death as well. They scored 2 goals in the end.
Yeah,
Callum Wilson and Joelinton on the score sheet. Great for them away from home, getting those 3 points. After that, abysmal performance against Chelsea, I would say.
mm-hmm.
Really didn't look like doing anything in that game. Anyways, moving on to the next one quickly. Brighton versus Liverpool. Sirish, what do you feel like? No, where's this game going?
I don't know, me Champions League probably expected to win that game. I watched it and I was pretty disappointed towards the end of it, but I guess we take it in our stride. 2-0 loss at Atlanta, but we, fielded a very weak side, in my opinion, a very, very weak side. So I'm hoping that Klopp was trying to save all his players from any further injuries for the Premier League season, and therefore this game we're going to see a much, much stronger lineup. So yeah, I feel like that's going to be one of the key aspects of this game. I want to see how we line up today. Not really sure at this point who's injured and who's not because the updates are coming in really slow. And obviously Fabinho's back, so that's a plus. Matip's obviously there. Robertson is there, but he didn't play against Atlanta. So let's see if that's because of injury or just team choice. Firmino, Jota, they're all fit. Salah back from COVID. He's recovered from COVID, and
Yeah,
Mane is fit as well. So the front three, I'm not really scared about. Midfield is where it gets a little bit iffy for me because Jordan Henderson is set to make a return, is what the reports are saying as of now. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be an easy win for Liverpool. For Brighton, however, the tone of the game is going to be very different. Brighton obviously have a very good side right now. I mean, on paper
yeah,
as well as the way they're performing. A few results I feel like are not really fair to them, and you can
yeah.
just. I feel like it'd be fair to say that they've been hard done by VR decisions so far, like really hard done a couple of times this season already. And yeah, uh, despite that, they have some really good quality in their side. There's obviously Tariq Lamptey, but he got sent off, so I don't think
Yeah.
you're going to be seeing him in the Premier League against Liverpool. So
I think that's a huge miss here.
yeah, that's going to be a very, very huge. It's going to be interesting to see who starts in that position now. Regardless, I feel like their front is still set. I mean, they still got Mope, they've still got Trossard, they've still got Solly March, they have Bissouma in the middle of the pitch, and Dunk obviously having a very weird season, I would say. Not the one he was expecting, but what is it? He's already seen 2 red cards.
Yeah, he has, and he might be back for this game because the suspension has ended, so
Yeah, so
he will be back for this one.
I guess he would be a key figure in that defense because now that Tariq Lamptey is gone. More so, Brighton's attack will take a hit because of that and not the defense because Tariq Lamptey is brilliant defensively, but I feel like his attacking output is second to none in that team.
Yes.
So that's going to be a really difficult mess for them, but I feel like Liverpool are going to cruise through. This should be a fairly easy victory for them.
Yeah, last weekend Brighton got that win against Aston Villa, which we didn't see coming, obviously.
Never
But
did,
then
yeah.
with Aston Villa's position on the table. Anyways, we'll move on to the next one. Manchester City at home versus Burnley. And this game again, City, I think during the weekend, in the midweek, did they win?
Midweek, yeah, they did.
Yeah, they went up
1-0
against.
against Olympiacos.
Yeah, they got a 1-0 victory, yes. Phil Foden scored in that game, and he's really looking good this season, doing a lot for the team, getting some crucial goals against West Ham as well. He got that goal, which, got them that win.
The draw.
And then,
The draw.
oh, yeah, that bicycle from Antonio.
It's insane.
Yeah, what do you think about this game as well? Because I think it's just one side of this game.
Yeah, like you rightly said, like Phil Foden has been a huge, impact. He has had a huge impact on the City side. Me personally, I'm still confused as to why Pep Guardiola does not see him as a regular starter in the Premier League, because you always see him coming on in the. I mean, against Liverpool, he didn't even come on.
Yeah,
City had much the better chances in that game, but obviously, if he knew that they needed just a little bit more creativity, why didn't he sub on Foden beforehand? And
yeah,
I feel like City is also having a little tough time right now. I mean, I would say tough because they're not scoring as many goals as they usually do. Probably missing the likes of David Silva, and their defense is also a little leaky this season. I mean, they have one of the best defense, all right, this season. They've conceded really less goals, but I feel like some of the goals that they've conceded they should have avoided.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I feel like the front three that they, I Sterling, Aguero might be coming
yeah,
back for this game because he's back in training.
yeah, I think he was
But
subbed on against Olympiacos as well.
yes, yeah. So he might start this game, and provide that really good finishing in the box and try to get them goals, which they have been lacking recently.
Hmm.
They have to bounce back in the Premier League after that loss against Tottenham, which was, I think, a huge loss for them, considering the Mourinho Guardiola rivalry and for the table as well. It's not
Yeah,
looking great for City
it's
with
not.
them being in 14th position at this stage of the league with 9 games played for them. So they have played 8 games.
Yeah, they
So
have one game in hand.
yeah, exactly. So we'll see how this goes. City will want to get this win and get those 3 points on the board.
Yeah, as for
And yeah,
Burnley, I feel like, I mean, it's not really working out, is it? I mean, Sean Dyche, he's gotten them to like, top half finishes, but something that nobody would have seen coming. But the way Burnley play, they should be doing much better this season, because we don't usually consider Burnley a relegation ridden side, We expect them to stay up comfortably, but so far this season, I think it's been horrendous. What is it? They haven't charted a single win so far.
I think they have a win,
Yeah,
but
one
they
win.
have
Yeah,
lost 5 games.
yeah
Yeah,
they've had
five
one
games
win
and
this
two
entire
draws.
season. They've had one win this entire season, and they've played what, 9 games, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's just hard for us to watch Burnley perform so badly. I don't know where it's going wrong for them. Obviously, the forwards not getting onto the score sheet enough. Uh, they're considered one of the most physical sides, and yeah, I feel like they've lost some aspect of that game as well for some reason.
yeah,
For them, against, I mean, they had a relatively decent spell against Chelsea, like in the beginning, like the
yeah.
first 20 minutes they had Chelsea under the cosh, but as soon as Chelsea, started showing signs of hitting them back on the counter, they just sat back and let Chelsea take the lead, get into the driving seat in the game.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, last week they won against Crystal Palace, which was a 1-0 win. So that was their first win on the board. And, they'll be looking to push on from that. But coming up against City, that doesn't look like a
Yeah,
great
doesn't look like
opportunity to
it's
come
gonna
up.
happen.
Yeah. So we see a City win in this one.
We do.
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Anyways, the next game we go on to Everton versus Leeds. And these two teams, I think they have not been in great form recently.
They
Everton losing
haven't.
that game against, I think they won last week. Yeah, they won last week against Fulham. So things are looking up for Everton. But again, I think Digne got injured in
Out for two
training. He picked up
months.
out for 2 months an ankle injury. That's, I think, a huge miss. And Sirish, what do you think about Leeds season till now?
It's been a very mixed bag, I would say. It's been a very mixed bag. I mean, some of the victories that they've gotten, good on them. I mean, the one against Aston Villa, the one against Fulham, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
The one against Fulham. Good performances so far, and again, they're one of the most entertaining sides to watch in Premier League. It's just pressure, pressure, pressure. But this was expected. Regardless of who they have managing their side, even though if it is Marcelo Bielsa and they have a really good side as well, it's been really it was expected. They've just moved into the Premier League. They're still getting used to the tempo, and that has been one of the major problems, because defensively they've been very bad, very poor this season. I mean, going forward, yeah, they have that advantage. Their players play well, but again, Bamford in the front missing very good opportunities. I mean, they should be scoring more, definitely, and Bamford should be doing much better. But regardless, I feel like as a team, they're still finding their rhythm. They're not there yet. Hopefully, they do sometime mid-season, maybe. Hopefully, they do. For their sake, I hope they do. But as of now, it's looking very, very shaky. Because if they keep playing like this, they definitely won't get relegated, but they won't be able to finish in any significant position in the Premier League either. They'll probably finish somewhere in the bottom half, probably like 2-3 spots above the relegation zone or something like that.
Mhm.
Because other sides have picked up. Crystal Palace obviously back-to-back losses, but regardless, they've actually performed really well this season, considering
Yeah,
their usual performances. And West Ham obviously picked up. So they need to know that the sides that are already in the Premier League are also trying to build. So it's
Yeah.
not going to be easy for them. So yeah, that's going to be a big worry, and especially coming up against Everton, like you said, Dinia missing for 2 months. I feel like Everton still have better quality in their side. I mean, they still got Delph and all, a few other players who can fill in that position.
Yeah.
So it's going to
Yeah,
be,
and Leeds with that result against Arsenal, which I think they should have won that game.
yeah.
With considering that Pepe got a red card, and then
Mhm.
they had that advantage in numbers, obviously, but they couldn't really capitalize on that. They came short against Arsenal. They would have expected that win. I think Bamford hitting the post as well towards the end,
Bamford
which
missed quite a few chances in that game.
yeah. I think that goes to show because last season as well I think he missed the most number of big chances in the championship. So
Hmm.
he has to find his footing again, get those goals going in.
Yeah.
And Everton again, they have to pick up where they left from. I feel they started the season really well, but then it just fell off, and then
Yeah, I
they got that
guess.
win against Fulham. Yeah,
Yeah, most of it was because like key players got injured. But again, injuries are bound to happen during the season, and Ancelotti should have expected that. Probably should have done better in a couple of fixtures, but I don't blame them. They've done brilliantly up to this point. I have no doubt that they're going to be playing really well in this game either. Like, definitely, uh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be close. But I feel like Everton are going to come out on top in this one.
hmm yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup with Ancelotti and Bielsa. Huge
Mm-hmm.
managers in the world of football.
Yeah.
And then we come on to a relatively, I don't know what to say about this picture. West Brom versus Sheffield. It's a battle of the relegation.
Yeah.
It's a relegation battle because the 19th position coming up against Sheffield United, who's 20th in the table,
Mm-hmm.
and this is another one. Both teams haven't got a win up until now. They are on. It's looking really dire for both teams.
Uh,
So this would be a.
did Sanderberger get injured? I'm not sure. I don't know if
I
he's fit or not, but I
I think I heard that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I heard
he
that
might be injured.
Sanderberg
It's a huge
might be
miss.
injured. Yeah, that would be. I think Sanderberg has been the best player so far,
Exactly.
despite McGoldrick scoring two against two big clubs. That is one was against Chelsea and one was against Arsenal, right? Regardless
Yeah.
of that, I feel like Sanderberg has been the best player so far, the most impactful player so far for Sheffield. However, again, we've said this time and time again, second season syndrome, whatever it might be. But at this point, I just feel like it began as a complacent journey for them. The start of the new season, they were like, you know what, we did so well last season. This season is not going to be any different. But little did they know that what happened was about to happen. And I feel like they never truly recovered from it. I mean, Chris Wilder really needs to sit down, have a chat with the players. He needs to make them understand that we've made it. We got promoted last season, did so well, but at some point we've all gotten complacent, and I think it's high time they change that because they have quality in their side, all right. Despite all the rumors that Lundstrom is not renewing his contract, wants to leave. Be that as it may, he's still playing at the club, so you still have that quality. I mean, McGoldrick is a relatively good striker. Muse, now getting to see him, and everybody else, they've got good quality, but for some reason none of that is coming to the forefront. And
Yeah.
I could honestly see them getting relegated this season. The way they're playing, they are actually abysmal. And as for West Brom, I mean, for a newly promoted team, they're doing pretty well. They've had a good signing grade in Grady Diangana. He's been good for them this season. But I guess this is going to be a battle always, as is the case with any relegation battle. It's how
Yeah.
much distance can you put between yourself and the relegation zone.
Exactly.
And
And
the
these teams, I have to mention this because I see they have scored only 6 goals. West Brom scoring 6 goals, and Sheffield United scoring four, which in 9 games. So I think that's a huge
yeah,
issue for both teams. Creating chances and scoring goals. So I think this will be a really tight affair, and whoever comes out on top will take those 3 points, and we really get to take them as well. A draw is
is the
the
worst
least.
result for
Exactly,
is the
it's the
worst
worst
result.
scenario, yeah, for both teams. Anyways, we'll go on to the next one. Southampton versus United. I feel like this is a great game going to this, and a huge. a huge test for United, I would say, because
Mhm.
considering how well Southampton have performed this season, it's a it's huge for United to get the win in this one, because away from home and coming up against such a good team, they have to get that result to really, because right now they're sitting in 11th position on the table. They have a game in hand, obviously, but then United have been inconsistent. We have said this time and time again, but yeah, Southampton versus United. What are your thoughts on this one?
Southampton again, they've been very good. Obviously, they started the season off very shaky, and at some point we were all wondering, how has this happened? Because I feel like towards the end of the season, after I think last season, we always when we talk about Southampton, we talk about that 9-0 loss to
Yes,
Leicester. But the way Ralph Hasenhüttl tightened up the ship at coming off of that loss, and the way they ended the season, you didn't see them beginning the season on such a bad note. Regardless, he did exactly what he did last season. Once they picked up a couple of losses, he's gone again, and he's gone in and he's changed things around, and he's talked to the players or made them understand, or whatever he's done. His tactics are working now, and you've seen a couple of results. I mean, they fought back against Chelsea. They've gotten brilliant victories against other teams, and this is going to be a test for Southampton as much as it's going to be a test for United, because United can never be written off. Because yeah,
exactly.
United are inconsistent, but when they've played brilliantly. So I guess it's just going to be one of those days where if United turn up at the game, if they actually show up and they show their quality, it's going to be on Southampton to be able to get a result from this game. Because United, obviously, regardless of how inconsistent they've been, I feel like this is going to be one game where United are going to be going in much more confident than the other team, because Southampton obviously punching above their weight class almost every single season. But this is where it matters. One of the top
Yeah.
six sides, regardless of what the form is, I feel like it's going to be a very, very, very interesting match to watch. So yeah, it's going to be. I feel like the onus is on Southampton to get a result in this one, and not on Man United, because actually see them getting a result in this.
Yeah, United coming into this game 4-1 win at home versus Istanbul Başakşehir. So and Bruno Fernandes as well. He's time and time again. He keeps performing. He keeps coming up with those performances to to get those results for United. And I don't know what they would do without him. He's such a huge part
Yeah,
of the United team. I think he drives them forward. That mentality of his.
yeah,
He really wants to. I think he really encapsulates United's mentality that
hmm,
from the earlier stages when Ferguson was there, and
yeah.
because he will do anything to win.
Yeah, I feel like
So that's
Bruno Fernandes, he's been brought in to fill in the role that Pogba was expected to, but didn't towards the end. Whatever the
yeah,
reason might be for that, maybe the fallout with Mourinho or whatever it is. I feel like now that Bruno Fernandes has joined this United side, he's a very, very, very crucial part. He's perhaps their most important player right now. And
he
yeah,
is
I feel
definitely.
like United should also try to get Donny van de Beek involved a lot more than he has this season. I feel like he's a great addition. He showed that on his debut. Regardless of what people might say, I mean, I feel like personally Donny van de Beek is a very good player, and he
He
should be
definitely.
getting more game time. Especially considering how poor their midfield has been performing, with the exception of obviously Bruno
Bruno.
Fernandes. Everybody else, McTominay, Fred, Matic, Pogba, everybody has been given their chances, but sometimes it works. On other times, it looks absolutely pathetic. So I feel like Van de Beek should be brought in, and they should try to make get him more involved. Maybe try
Yeah,
a few formations that suit his style of play. Because if Bruno and Van de Beek link up, that could be really crucial for Manchester United, and they've got the quality going forward. They have Martial, they have
yeah.
Greenwood.
He started the game against Istanbul Başakşehir. So and he obviously that 4-1 win goes to show that he obviously helped the team do that. So
Yeah,
this game we might see him start.
yeah.
Depends on how Solskjaer sets his team up. Anyways, so who do you think will come out in this one? Southampton versus United.
I think it's going to be a draw. It's going to be a draw,
Hmm.
because I feel like I said, the onus is on Southampton, but I feel like they're going to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, I feel like this game. I think like I just have a feeling that Southampton are going to come out on top because they are always up for these games.
Yeah.
They really get those results,
Yeah, it wouldn't be a
but
bad
we'll
shout.
see.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad shout.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think this is going to be our fixture of the game week. So Chelsea versus Tottenham,
Oh boy, oh boy.
Lampard versus Mourinho,
uh,
Master versus Apprentice, they would say. And coming to this one, Chelsea, they have been in really good form.
mhm.
The Champions League fixture was not that great, I would say, because I watched the game and Chelsea they started the game really well. I would say, 20 minutes, they were incredible. We created so many chances. I think Werner missed he missed an open goal, so
Sit up.
he really needs to work on his finishing. But then we just fell off from the game. It was really frustrating to watch, obviously, considering Ren, we could have killed off the game in the starting 20-25 minutes, but the game fell off, and then Ren obviously came back in the game, got that goal. But then Olivier Giroud came off the bench and got a really crucial goal because this was the goal that sealed the qualification into the round of 16.
Yeah, and again, do you reckon Warnock should have done better? Because the goal Olivier Giroud scored was a rebound from Warner's chance.
Exactly, he had a one-on-one chance as well, which he didn't connect really well, and then it deflected off the
I
keeper
think
and
he missed
went.
another one-on-one in the beginning.
Yeah, he did.
You see,
Even in the previous fixture versus Newcastle, he
yeah.
has been frustrating. I think he could have taken he was 1-on-one with the keeper and he decided to pass
Mhm.
it, but that wasn't a great pass. Again, he has to fix his finishing, really work on his finishing. I think it's a bit to do with his confidence as well. Because that loss against Spain 6-0 is always for your
Yeah.
country, it's not always easy to take as well. So yeah, and Sirish, what do you say about Tottenham? I think uh, they have been
God.
incredible this season. I think they
Genuine title
have.
contenders, regardless of what people might say, make fun of them for not winning trophies. Regardless, I feel like they're a brilliant side. They have been, regardless of whether or not they've produced the results. They've been a fantastic side over the last couple of seasons, guaranteeing top four finishes every season, challenging for that. Previous to last season, I think they made it so close. They were so close, just inches away. But they finished as runners up, so that's a positive. And again, this season it's been brilliant. I feel like last season was a transitional period under Mourinho, and the transition has been completed so far. It looks that way so far. I mean, we're only 9 games in, but in these 9 games and in the European fixtures that they played, they look so solid. Going forward,
Yeah,
defending. I mean, defensively, obviously they've had their issues because Vertonghen's not there anymore, and obviously injuries to key players. And yeah, it's been a really mixed bag because Dyer also not being able to defend completely. Like should have done better in defense, but regardless, I feel like they've been really solid. Son and Kane linking up perfectly. I mean, that's been the highlight of their season so far, Son and Kane.
I'm so worried about that.
And also Gareth Bale, Bergwijn, Ndombele, Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura, I feel like he's been very restricted this season. Very, very restricted. Even the chances he's gotten, he hasn't done a lot with it. But I feel like he's going to pick up. He's obviously going to pick up because we know the quality of the quality of him. We know he's a brilliant player. And also, I think it's going to be crucial to see how Gareth Bale fits into the system considering he's not match fit yet.
Yeah,
And yeah, I feel like Dele Alli, huge miss for Tottenham, but they've covered his position so well. Obviously, Giovanni Lo Celso, one of the prime candidates to fill in that spot, but he's also been restricted, coming off the bench a couple of times. Last game week, he scored as well. But I
mhm.
feel like Sissoko and Dombele, they're all doing brilliantly. So yeah, it's going to be. I feel like for Mourinho, he's going to be coming off really strong off of last game week, and this game week is going to be just one of those where he feels like on to the next one. He's definitely going to
Yeah,
be looking for that win. Definitely.
yeah. The last two games that Mourinho and Lampard matched up against were won by Lampard. Those that win at home, which was crucial to our Champions League push, and that win against Tottenham at their stadium, where Son got sent off.
Mhm. For
That was
kicking,
the
yeah.
Exactly. So those two wins were crucial for Lampard. Exactly. This is what Mourinho lives up to. I think he's embracing the fact that Tottenham are underdogs. He really loves this. That his team has been written off time and time again, and then he he produced something. And obviously, with the likes of Kane and so on, they always have goals in their team,
Yeah.
and they are really clinical on the counter. I think this is going to be a really interesting watch, to see what these two teams come up with, and Chelsea might go to the a three back. I see that happening because uh, I think United, I mean Spurs will obviously sit back and invite pressure. So to use those flanks will be crucial for Chelsea. So they might go to a three back for this game, but we'll
Hmm.
see what happens. And
Yeah, I feel
and we
like
come
score predictions. This
exactly,
is
yeah.
important, all right?
This
This is a culture here. We never forget to predict the scores of the fixture of the game week. All right, Yasser, go ahead.
Yeah, this game. I'm going for 2-1 to Chelsea.
Oh, bold.
I
Fair
I feel
enough.
like Chelsea have enough quality to score those goals and
They do.
hopefully
They
defend
do.
that lead. Hopefully. Sirish, what do you think about this one?
2-0
Prediction.
Spurs again. I mean, I
Yeah,
just feel like the counter is too good. No team can defend against them right now. Against that counter, we saw that last week. We're gonna see it time and time again. I mean, uh, that they just require that one pass, that one lapse in concentration. All defenders need to do is forget to mark Son or Kane for 1 millisecond, and they're through on goal. And
exactly.
again, about being clinical, you know how clinical they are. I mean, Son and Kane. If you go one on one, regardless of who the keeper is, I mean, it's Edward Mendy in this case, probably the toughest challenge they've faced so far. It's going to be a challenge for Son and Kane to score, or any of the forwards. For Tottenham to score is going to be difficult because now with Edward Mendy in goal, I mean, people have been hyping him up, but I feel like the hype is justified. He's played brilliantly. He did so against Man United, pulled off brilliant saves. So I feel
Yeah.
like the onus is going to be on them, but I feel like Spurs can rise to the occasion because they're in such a great run of form, and their counter-attacking game is so strong right now. No team has been able to stop them,
Yeah.
and that's going to
Yeah,
be
these two
like,
teams have been in really good form as well. They are
yeah.
informed. They're two informed teams. First versus third, and it's a really
I
interesting
guess
one.
it's our profit in this game if you guys draw. We profit from this the most.
Yeah, the other teams who are looking to make ground with them will obviously be really happy to see a draw in this one.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll move on to the next one: Arsenal versus Wolves. Sarish, what do you think? What do you have to say about Arsenal's performance till up until now?
Pathetic. Pathetic, abysmal, hogwash, unbearable. I can just keep going on and on. I just don't like the way Arsenal have been playing. And there's nothing against them. I just feel like, regardless of every season when they go ahead and sign the players they need, they still perform really poorly. For some reason, I don't know what it is at this point. I mean, a few seasons back, you could have argued that Wenger left, so no other manager has been able to establish their own style of play. Like Arsenal are not gelling well with their style of play, but I feel like Arteta, he showed brilliant signs in the beginning. I mean, he had a really positive impact on Arsenal. He did so well, and my only question is, where did it all trail off? Because this season I don't see any of that impact coming. To the forefront. I feel like yeah, it's just boring, plain boring to watch their football. I feel I don't know why. They have the quality, they have the squad, they have brilliant players. They've got players who can get onto the score sheet time and time again. And again, key players have not shown up. Aubameyang this season been very lackluster. Lacazette began the season really brilliantly, but now he's been restricted. I mean, he's not getting the opportunities, and obviously the young players, Bukayo Saka, start off brilliantly. And I feel like you can't really blame the young players at this point because it they're still growing, all right. The contribution that they've already made to the club is immense, and I think that should be appreciated. But when it comes to fixtures, where again, I think last week Bukayo Saka missed a really good opportunity,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, it's just to do with the growth of the player. They're still relatively young.
exactly. If he would have put that chance away, which he should have, we would be talking about a different story. Or we would say that things are looking up for Arsenal
Exactly,
with a Europa League
exactly.
win as well.
Yeah, and
So
speaking of
it's
Wolves, I feel like, I mean, Wolves have also, it's again, Wolves have been the exact same as Leeds, only they've come off better. It's been a mixed bag for them as well. But they're looking good so far. They're looking brilliant so far. I mean, they've got a couple of players this season that who have shown up, like Podence, players like
I
that.
think Neto has been huge for
Pedro
them.
Neto, yeah, he's been brilliant. And obviously, it just goes to, we just need to wait and watch what happens with this game, because this is one of the most scintillating fixtures you could hope to watch, purely because of the fact that Wolves and Arsenal will both be going for it, and I think it's high time that both these teams went into a full send, is what I would say.
Yeah.
They need to if they
They
want
need
this.
those points on the
Yeah,
table, yes.
if they need to come away with this season with a good result, they need to send it right now. Like, this is the time, because if you
Yeah,
lose
and
key
Wolves and
fixtures like
Arsenal,
these.
yes, yes. Wolves and Arsenal are really just separated by 1 point. Just they are 13 and they are Arsenal have 13 points while Wolves have 14 points, and this fixture really goes to show that these teams really need to kick on and get those points on the table. I think this game, talking on formation here, I think it's going to be really three at the back for both teams. Arteta
Mhm.
loves his three at the back formation, and obviously Nuno Espirito also loves that formation. So we'll see these teams go head to head, and we'll see who comes out on this one.
Mhm.
It'll be a really interesting watch. And coming to the next game, I think this is the final fixture. Oh no, it's not. This is the penultimate fixture, which is Leicester versus Fulham.
Mhm.
And
Easy
Leicester,
dubs, easy dubs for Leicester.
yeah,
They
you just see
they
this
couldn't
going one way.
possibly lose this. They couldn't possibly lose this game.
Yeah, they have 18 points on the table. Leicester fourth in the table, which, considering last season that dip in form which they had towards the end, we wouldn't have seen this coming. But they have
Yeah,
picked things off where they left them, and
yeah,
they did really well with this season till now. But on the other hand, we look at Fulham. They are 18th the table. They have one win on the board, which is better comparatively than the other two who are below them. But then again, this is all about it's. Think it's going to be easy win for Leicester because they have that quality in them to
yeah.
really put this game away.
And Jamie Vardy has been in brilliant form. Harvey Barnes playing really well. Obviously, they're missing crucial players like NDD in the midfield, but
Yeah,
I feel like they've coped up so far. The only problem being, the players who've actually filled that position, like the using Mendy as of now in that position, and obviously Mendy is a very different player compared to what NDD is.
yeah,
So that's going to be a little difficult to deal with. But I feel like so far they've done decently.
yeah. Leicester, I think in midweek they played Braga and they drew 3-3, where Vardy scored at the death to get
Mm-hmm.
that point for them. And yeah, it doesn't look great for them obviously with that 3-3
Yeah,
3-3 scoreline, goals going in and them
yeah.
conceding three goals. But in this game, you just see the difference in quality, and Leicester will come out on top in this one.
Yeah, I feel like they need to get adjusted. That they need to get adjusted to the fact that now they have to play European football as well. The season in which they won the Premier League, they had no other competition to focus on rather than the Premier League. So
Yeah,
that's good, but they need to understand that if they perform so well, uh, you get results. That's fantastic. You get brilliant results, like they finished in the top six. But with that comes added pressure, because then you start playing European competitions, which is yet another fixture on your list. So that's going to
yeah,
be more fatigue, more playtime, more games, more travel. They just need to get used to it. I mean, obviously, they've just they went to the European competitions after winning the league, and they did pretty well that season. But ever since, it's been a very shaky period for them until last season.
yeah.
They've picked up, they've gotten into European competition. Now it's time for them to adjust to the pressure.
Yeah, and Europa League, considering that it adds on to it's just more fixtures basically because
Yeah,
there's a round of 32 as well, which
yeah,
is
there
which is
is.
more than what the Champions League has. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
so hopefully,
the worst part being, you get to play teams from the Champions League. So some of the teams that who are brilliant, who are the apex teams in their leagues, and are just not having a good time in Champions League, they come down to Europa and the hopes to win it. So that just adds to
yeah,
the
they
tougher
finished in third year.
competition. Exactly, that just adds to the tougher competition. So it's going to be tough, but they're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, I see Leicester coming out on top in
Easy,
that one.
easy.
They're going to win that game, hopefully, for Leicester fans. Anyways, we'll come on to the next fixture, which is the final game of the game week, and this is West Ham versus Aston Villa. I think West Ham have been performing
Both teams
well
have
above
performed
their
above
standards.
expectation.
Exactly, yeah.
Both teams.
I think there's similar tales in these two clubs. We didn't really see them the way they have performed up until now, Aston Villa in 7th, and West Ham in 8th. Aston Villa obviously have a game in hand because they didn't play the first fixture. But then, yeah, again, West Ham have been really good, I would say, considering their form last season, where they just stayed above the relegation zone. They have won their last two previous games, 1-0 against Fulham and 1-0 against Sheffield United, really getting those points off those relegation teams. And yeah, Aston Villa, I think, considering their start, it hasn't been great recently. That loss against Brighton was,
Yeah.
I would say, it was really close because that call VR at the end could have gone either way. It was really debatable call again from VR. We have seen this time and time again,
Yeah, I
but
feel like we just need to get used to it at this point.
exactly, yeah.
You're gonna get fisted by VR at some point in your season. Maybe more than once, maybe more than that also. But
Yeah, you can be on either side of it, the
yeah,
better side
at
of
this
it,
point, there's
or
nothing we can do about it. There's no possible way for teams to defend themselves against shitty VR decisions. If it's bound to
yeah, I
happen, it's
feel
bound
like
to happen.
the referees have just need to get used to it. Need to get on top of VR, use it to their advantage, not to their not to no. They have to use it really well. There's a brilliant technology which they have to make the most of.
I
But
mean,
we
no
can
other
just
league
keep
is
talking about.
complaining. Like no other leagues there have been massive complaints as much as
I
it
think
has been
they
in.
are really, yeah, there are decisions where it's debatable rarely, but on a consistent basis there hasn't been debates going on in other leagues. So I think the Premier League has to sort out that shit basically for this one, the VR.
Pretty much. But anyways, yeah, this game is gonna be one of those. I feel like both teams are gonna be looking for a win. However, I feel like only one of them is gonna get it. I feel like it's gonna be Villa. I just
I think so too.
yeah, I have a feeling because David Moyes is like the you know dark horse, I would say, like in this in this situation. Uh, you didn't expect him to be able to do it so well, like perform so well with his team, but he has. But I feel like ultimately, and this is gonna happen to every Premier League team, there's gonna come a point where they're gonna dip. I feel like a few teams have already had that and they've moved past. I feel like Southampton being one of the major teams, they obviously had that dip in form and they've moved on since. Liverpool had a very horrible run of fixtures in between, and then they've moved past that. But obviously, it will happen to every other team. It will at some point where the form dips, and I feel like West Ham's could start right now from this fixture. So this could be the point where Aston Villa actually capitalize on their opportunity and get another 3 points on their table.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Arsenal is going to come out on top. I think that Barkley injury was really unfortunate for him. I think he's been great this season and will be a huge miss for Arsenal. But I think they have enough quality in Grealish and Watkins, and they will come out on top in this one.
Megan.
Yeah, he's been incredible this season as well.
Yeah, Megan's been insane. Watkins obviously, and yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. But
Yeah,
Aston Villa
that's the
looking,
last fixture.
yeah, Aston Villa looking much the better team. Anyways, guys, that's it from us for this episode. Hope you enjoyed that. I know it's been pretty long, but it's been a while since we've gotten used to doing previews, considering we stopped. But regardless, we'll be back with another live match reaction. Please let us know in the comments if you're enjoying the live match reaction. So, do you want us to go back to our previous format where it was preview and then review? Because we would really like to know your opinions. Anybody who's watching. Anyways, recently we just hit 1K views on two of our IGTV videos, and we couldn't thank you all enough for that. We are so grateful for that, and yeah, we just appreciate the support. We just really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also hit the bell icon so that you'll get notified every time we upload. And go over to our social on Instagram at the rate Pretentious Pundits and follow our page. We post content there as well. And yeah, it's been really fun talking about football. That's it from us for this episode, guys. See you in the next one.
See you guys.